This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by the Sussex County Association of Realtors.
You know, buying a home is a big deal. It's so exciting, a place to finally call your own. But Jimmy, think back decades ago. It was hard to come by a single woman buying her own home. Well, now that's all changing.
Yeah. The National Association of Realtors reports that since the mid-90s, single women have purchased homes at nearly twice the rate of single men. In fact, just last year, the association reports single female homeowners made up 18% of the association's profile of home buyers and sellers, compared to only 10% for single men. The top 3 reasons why single women buy homes: 1, they have a strong desire to own their own home. Another reason, according to the Joint Center for Housing Studies, single women need more space or want a smaller home. And the final reason is to relocate closer to a job, school, or family.
Now, while buying a home is exciting, there can be pitfalls that could prevent a sale from going through.
Sherri Rodgers wasn't sold on going solo when it came to looking for a new home.
I would say it was kind of a scary yet fun time for me.
Realtor Patty Gabrielle says a lot more single women are buying their own homes. She calls it a mindset shift of the American woman.
Women have become much more independent thinking nowadays.
But in some cases, not everyone is ready for this.
But you have to watch out because they do take advantage of single women.
If you are on your own and you don't have the guide and counsel of the experts, you really can get very taken advantage of.
Some of the pitfalls that may creep up for first-time home buyers: contract legalities. Qualifying for a loan on just one income could limit choices. Lack of cash, time-sensitive items, negotiations, and mechanics of the home.
They're emotional buyers, so it's more about how I feel in a home than really the quality of the home.
Gabrielle says buyers should have another set of eyes with them while looking for a new home.
If you're just going into this on your own and you don't know what to be looking for, you know, you can miss a lot of things.
But with the pitfalls, there's perks.
I have become very independent and don't really want to ask somebody right now whether or not this is okay or what, you know, so I like making up my own mind and being the only one really that counts right now.
And that's why buying into the idea of owning her own home wasn't so bad.
Patty says most single women look for maintenance-free homes. She says Generation Y is the highest educated and are good money managers, so they are typically a good risk for lenders.
Now, maybe you're single, you're looking to buy. Well, there are certain steps to remember before starting the process of going it alone, steps that really apply to both women and men, single or married. Now, according to Realtor.com, you'll want to go over your finances so you'll know exactly what you can and cannot afford. Also, start small. A lower purchase price will likely net you a mortgage payment that's lower than the rent in the same area. Consider alternative dwellings. Aside from being more affordable, townhouses and condominiums can provide maintenance services and security. And finally, find a reliable realtor. A good realtor should be able to recommend a trustworthy financial advisor, lawyer, inspector, and contractor to help you with the process.
And Jimmy, that's not the only way realtors can help a buyer, whether they're new to the market or thinking about buying again after a foreclosure. And it's so easy to get that help all under one roof.
So joining us today to tell you more about it is Chiqui Gavilan, who's a member of the Sussex County Association of Realtors, and Brandy Nauman, Housing Coordinator for the Sussex County Community Development and Housing Office. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming in this afternoon.
Morning. How are you?
Chiqui, let me start with you. We just mentioned it is so important to know, even before you think about buying a house, to know where you are financially.
Exactly.
Why?
Well, having your credit score will determine how much property you can buy, how much home you can buy. For example, if you have a good credit score, that will affect the interest rate, etc. And so you really want to know your credit score for your mortgage lending purposes. And obviously, in order to keep your home, you want to have a personal budget to know how much you can afford.
So we get a credit report, then what? What do we do?
Well, you identify a realtor in your area that you trust, that you feel comfortable with. It's kind of like a short-term marriage. So you have to like your realtor. And basically then, once you start searching for homes, and your realtor can help you find a good inspector, identify a good mortgage lender, etc. And really the important thing is to build a team of excellence that will be looking out for your interests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got my budget that I pay bills from. I've got my income, I know how much of that. How much of my income should I set aside for a home?
It ranges from 25 to 35%, but I think the average should be somewhere around 30% maximum.
Okay, don't go over 35%.
Not if you want to feel comfortable. You know, generally speaking, most people can handle 30% of their income towards rent, but certainly towards a mortgage.
But some of us may think we can't afford a home, but that's not necessarily the case.
That's right. There is a price point for everyone in Sussex County. It's about getting educated to see what exists to help you find a home.
Yeah,
and there's state and federal programs for this, right?
Exactly. There's also HUD-approved housing counselors locally that can help you coordinate with the federal and state programs available to first-time home buyers. You don't even have to be a first-time home buyer. Low, moderate income households also qualify.
And all of this under one roof?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
We are very excited. We are working with the Sussex County Association of Realtors for our first ever Sussex County Homebuyer Fair on September 27th at Del Tech in Georgetown. And there will be all kinds of resources available to potential home buyers.
So for someone who's never been to a fair like this, what can we expect if we go?
So attendees will receive a free copy of their credit report. They'll get to have a quick mini meet and greet with a HUD-approved housing counselor, and then they will be ushered in to meet with all kinds of exhibitors that offer housing-related programs, opportunities, resources. So you'll really just hopefully soak up all kinds of information.
Okay, so Chiqui, let me ask you about this. You've got to stay on top of the trends that are going on as a realtor. How do you do that?
Well, we have a lot of continuing education that's provided by Sussex County Association of Realtors, et cetera, because the role of a realtor really is to serve the best interests of their buyers and their sellers. And to do that, we really need to uphold ethical and professional standards. We have to know what we're talking about. We have to hold their hands through gut-wrenching transactions most of the time. So, you know, it's very important to stay on top of market knowledge, you know, have market knowledge, understand fair housing regulations, and so on. So it's very important to stay current.
So we mentioned the men and women trend. What else are you seeing in the market right now?
In the market in Sussex County? Interestingly enough, the market is brisk. However, the prices, which is good for first-time home buyers, the prices aren't going up yet. And the reason for that is that unlike Washington, D.C., Philly, and the big urban areas, we still have a lot of inventory. And you know, there's a lot of inventory, and until we diminish the inventory, prices will not rise. So it really is a good time to buy.
And so I understand that Delaware is like one of the 10 fastest rising?
That is correct.
Tell me about that.
Well, imagine, most of the rest of the country has very high taxes.
Right.
And a lot of the baby boomers are retiring, and baby boomers had a lot of fun. So a lot of them didn't save for retirement. Some of them lost a lot of their savings in the financial debacle of 2008.
Right.
And so, you know, and Delaware has beautiful, beautiful beaches. It's just the quality of life here is amazing. So we're getting this unabated influx of people relocating here. I love selling real estate here because everybody who comes here to buy is happy.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the details of the Home Buyers Fair, which is coming up Saturday, September 27th.
From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Del Tech in Georgetown. Pre-registration is recommended because you will receive a free copy of your credit report.
Right.
So you can call 855-7779, area code 302 to register or more information.
All right, and you can get more information and read more about the Sussex County Association of Realtors at WBOC.com. Just click on our picture at the top of the page.
Randy, thank you. Now, some people prefer renting a home. There's a lot to look for when it comes to that as well, including scams. You're going to hear how one scam making its rounds on social media has renters on edge and what you can do to avoid becoming a victim.
And that's not the only thing we have to worry about. Ever hear of cyber key locksmiths? Find out how they're making it very easy and cheap for anyone with a camera to have access to your home.
Now, once your space is safe, how about making the most of it? Our friends from Angie's List help us spruce up the mudroom. Even if you don't have one, we're going to find out how to make one from even the smallest of spaces. Delmarva Live. We'll be right back.